I just wanted to make a quick video. I had to replace my chain and sprockets. I went with JT chain and sprocket kit. I also got a DID chain tool. It was real easy to use. It took pushed the pin right out, didn't have to grind anything, just put it on there, pushed it right out, put the new chain on real easy. I really liked it. The first thing you're gonna have to do is take this rod off, take this off so you can get it out of the way. That's pretty simple. There's a nut, there's a bolt, take that off, there's a little tension nut on back here, and then this will just unscrew and go right up in the fairing and you can pull it out. Once you get that off, those are all 10 millimeter. When you get that off, there's 5 little Allens that hold this plastic cover on. Those are number 5 Allen. You take those off and this just pops out of the way. Once you get it off, it'll expose your front sprocket. The nut for that is going to be 36 on this bike. I think it's 99 to 07 maybe, or to 06, and then 07 changes it to a different size to 30. Once you get that done, well, before you use the nut, there's little tabs you have to fold back, and then you can just take the nut off. When I did that, I used tension from the back brake to hold everything still. Just hit it with the impact, popped right off. And then the axle nut on the other side will be 32. And also, the brake caliper bolts are 12. You got to pull the brake caliper off to get the wheel off. One of mine was stripped really bad when I bought the bike. I had to weld a big nut onto the end. That way I could pop it off. I went ahead and ordered 2 replacement bolts. Just replaced them both. Once I got the axle off, got the wheel out of the way, dropped the chain down, used the tool, cut the chain, pulled the chain out, and then I used, I believe, it's a 14 on these lock nuts. Take the lock nuts off, sprocket comes right off. It's really easy. I'd recommend buying new lock nuts. I didn't realize that they were nylon locking nuts, so I'll have to get some new ones. When I do, I should be able to just do one at a time and replace them on the bike without pulling everything apart. While you're at it, if you need a new tire, I'm about due. I went ahead and did it because it's so easy to take the back tire off. Brake pads, need to get new brake pads. If while you're there, you might as well check them. If they need it, replace them. To run the DID tool, I needed a 19 millimeter and like a 27 millimeter, which I didn't have. So on the tool itself, the base, I used a big crescent wrench. Then I used the 19, and like I said, it worked real easy. It was, I put a little wrench into it, and it just popped right out. Pushed the pin out. When I riveted it back together, it was fine. The chain comes pre-lubed. It's really, really greasy, so you should be good there. They give you grease to grease the link. Put the link all together. Pretty much, I mean, it's relatively simple. It took me longer because I had to run back and forth to town. I'm not in town to get parts. But don't let your sprockets get as bad as mine. I bought the bike, and you can tell they're really, really worn. And they're worn, forward. It's really bad. I bought it this summer, and I rode about 3,000 miles. I thought, I can, postpone it a little bit. I didn't realize how bad they'd gotten. Because you really can't see the front sprocket and the back sprocket. I mean, it's worn, and you can tell it's worn. So I just went ahead and replaced it. This is a Harbor Freight stand. I use it all the time. Haven't had any problems. The only thing is that this doesn't pivot up here. So I have billet little spools. They're all scratched up now. You can get the ones that roll. Would probably be better with this, but I use them for function. I can take them off and put new ones on if I want them fancy. My bike's a little dusty. Sits in the shop a lot. But anyways, if you have any questions as far as tools or any of that, just ask below. Like I said, this is pretty much just to show you what you need and what size wrenches and stuff you'll need. It's pretty much a 10-inch wrench, 12-inch, that's funny. 10 millimeter wrench, 12 millimeter wrench, a 14 millimeter socket, a 5 Allen, a 32 millimeter socket, a 36 millimeter socket or wrench on either one of those, and then a 19 millimeter, and then I believe 27 millimeter for the tool, ratchet, screwdriver, punch to bend the little tabs. It's relatively simple. I mean, if you can do anything, change the oil, basic maintenance, and you should be able to change the chain. Next up on my bike, I got all new ignition switches. I need to put all those on. The key switch for the back seat, all of that I need to change. My gas cap. The biggest reason I'm changing it, this just kind of flops. It's annoying, and my key sticks every once in a while, so I'll do that, and then of course my seat. But thanks a bunch.